Hello.
Hello, I'm Larry Winley. This is Josh Kaiser. We're AmeriCorps members assigned to Community Homeworks. We are the education coordinators. We've got a garage, a 20 by 20 foot garage that was built approximately 20 years ago, and some of the installation was not done correctly. So there's been a number of issues that have happened where we need to do repairs on this now. And one of the things, the first row of shingles was installed incorrectly. So that they were 3-tab shingles, they lined up so that water and moisture could get down in and actually rot through the sheathing. You can see here, it's rather obvious that there's a problem here. And that happens every 2 feet where these line up. We've got that issue. We've got that issue every 3 feet where they line up. So, and a number of the shingles have deteriorated, and that needs to be replaced on the entire roof. We've got branches overhanging, rubbing against the asphalt that have started to wear. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the shingles, remove the felt underneath and the drip edge around, and we'll cut back the sheathing, the OSB sheathing, for 2 feet. Pull that off, cut a new piece, replace that. We'll replace the drip edge, the soffit if it needs to, on both sides, not the front and back, but both sides. And then we'll put new felt on, they call it tar paper, but new felt on, and new shingles. And then later, the entire remainder of the roof will also be done.
They're not supposed to be like that.
They're not up above.
And see right here, that shingle is butted right up next to the other shingle.
Yep.
And it just stayed out the rain crotch. And
Yeah, the ring crotch was lined up. These should not have been. It should have been, the bottom one should have been solid.
Staggered like this.
Yeah. And this goes right through down into the garage.
And the length of every shingle is the same way on both sides of the roof.
And that's every shingle, so it's like an 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch. You can see that down there, these boards have also on the sub-fascia boards are also bad. On the other side, they're even worse.
See right here, you can tell they were in a hurry. Look how wide this row is. Look how wide that one is.
All right, yeah, you can see that one.
That through the all the way through it because I pulled the fascia down. They made more mistakes on this side than they did the other side.
The depth of the OSB sheathing. You can see here that it's stamped on the bottom of the board. It is fairly faded, but on every board it'll be stamped, so you'll be able to see that this one is 5/8 of an inch in depth.
But everybody tells us is figuring out what the materials are going to be for a project. For our roof project, what we did was the first thing we have to calculate the dimensions of the roof and the number of shingles we're going to need. So our building is 20 by 20. There's a 2-foot overhang on each side, and there's a 1-foot overhang on the front. And it's got a 412 pitch on it. So from the peak to the bottom of the roof here is 4 feet, and then from the center to the outside of the eave is 12 feet. So if you remember your geometry class, a squared, which is 144, plus b squared, which is 16, comes out to 160, which is c squared. You take the square root of that, it comes out to 12.65. So this dimension would be 12.65 feet. We rounded that up to 13. So for this half of the roof, it's 13 feet this way, and then it's the 20 plus 1 in the front and 1 in the back, or 22 feet. So you got a total of 286 square feet for this half of the roof. Times 2 is 572 square feet, give or take. Now, shingles, normally if you're using 3-tab or the dimensional shingles that we're going to be using, are normally 3 bundles of shingles to a square, which is a 10 by 10 area. Well, it's a 10-foot square. We've got 572 square feet, so we've got 5.72 squares of shingles. If you round that, again, round it up to 600, or to 6 square. You got 3 bundles to a square, we're going to need 18 bundles of shingles. And that's what we're putting into our materials list, is 18 bundles of shingles. On the red ridge right up here, there's a special shingle that we're ordering that's going to seal that so that there's no leakage or anything. You'll see that they stack, overlap. So we've got 1 bundle of those. We've got the rolls of felt. We've got 2 rolls of felt. There's going to be about a 6-inch overlap. You always do that so that the water runs downhill. It's not going to get into that OSB sheathing. The drip edge is 10 feet long. We're going to do the whole outline, so we're going to need 10 lengths of 10 foot. The drip edge that was on that building is only 1 inch high. We're getting the newer material that's 1.5 inches, so there'll be enough overlay we're not going to have to worry about problems that we had in the past. We're going to get a carton of rolled roof nails so that we can use a nail gun later when the folks do the remainder of the roof. When we do our initial project, we're going to use roofing nails. We don't want anybody getting hurt with any of the automatic stuff. We're also going to use a box of the stainless steel nails for the soffit. We'll get into that later. We're going to get 4 12-foot lengths of fascia, or down either side here, because those had deteriorated. We're taking those off. The partner wanted to make sure we've got nice new stuff on. The wood underneath, as you saw, was deteriorated. We're going to replace that sub fascia, and we're going to, again, cut back 2 feet here and put new OSB in there. You know, in your packet, there's an explanation of what OSB is. So that, and it's very prevalent for strength, etc. in this. This roof was installed 20 years ago. They were using 1/2-inch material at that time. There is a stamp on the bottom of that so we can tell exactly what's up there, because it's difficult otherwise. So we're getting OSB to match that. We'll cut that to a 2-foot, and we'll put that down so that they won't have any problems with those big holes in there anymore. And then over here, we have 2 electric masts that have got boots around the bottom. Those also are older, they're deteriorating. Our partner wanted to get brand new ones and put those on, so we're going to do that. So the entire project is estimated to cost just shy of $1,200 for materials. That doesn't include the labor. And if you're looking at any sort of a project of any size, once you determine this, you can see, A, are you going to be able to do it, or are you going to need a contractor to come in and get an estimate? And this way you have an idea what the estimate should cost as far as materials, or is it something you can do yourself?